Hello, everybody. Welcome along. We are back once again for the Renegade Master, not for the Renegade Master, for the Championship predictions. Big thank you to all the viewers last week. Sam was on double duty and everyone seemed to really enjoy the midweek round. We did a mini round in the Championship check-in podcast. So, Sam, you need a bit of a PhD. You need letters after your name to understand where we're up to here. What are the scores on the doors?
I'm just going to give the overall look to proceedings. You've got a lovely, comfortable victory now.
Explain in football terms.
I say comfortable victory. You're leading 97-79, so there's an 18-point gap. And the reasoning for that, I won't go into too many specifics, but let's rewind a week or so. There was a midweek round in the Championship over Tuesday and Wednesday, and you, mate, scored 15 points. So I think it's important that we mark that. And just for specifics, you called West Brom to beat Cardiff 2-0.
Yes, I
did.
You
called Preston North End to beat Middlesbrough 2-1. And you called Stoke to beat QPR.
Only because I said the opposite of what you said on that one, didn't I?
So that accrued you 9 points. And you also got 6 other results right. So you got 15 in one round.
Is that a record?
I think so. Yeah. It actually made me think of the back end of last season when we did a couple before we were doing the podcast.
Like that, didn't you? Yeah.
And I had maybe a 12-pointer or something like that. Yeah. So that was an astonishingly good week. And as it stands, mate, you're canter into the silverware with an 18-point deficit for me to make up.
So we're at like 68 minutes, and I'm 3-1 up. You're about to throw on 3 strikers now, aren't you? In football terms,
that's very good, mate. Yeah, it's very good. It's kind of where you were last night, I'm sure, at Portman Road, like just having a little, just finishing off a few crumbs of your half-time pie, and maybe just the remnants of a Bovril. 3-1, thinking the points are secure. And then all of a sudden, Rotherham look like they're going to get a point. So it can happen, but what happened last night is always liable to happen. I can maybe just feel it, sense that I'm getting closer, and then you could do to me what you done last midweek.
You're manifesting it, aren't you? Right. You are up first, Sam. So this is round 34. This is the weekend round and 2 Friday night games. And we're going to go first to Coventry versus Preston, Sam.
I think one of the most difficult ones to call of the weekend. Loads on it all of a sudden. Preston in really good form. They're on it right now. Coventry invariably get business done at home, so I just can't separate them here. I really can't. Coventry play again Monday in the FA Cup, which I didn't realise. Then they play West Brom, so it's a colossal...
Oh, is that why they're playing on Friday?
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think, the FA Cup next week. So it's a colossal kind of 7 days for them. For that reason, I just think it could be a draw. I'll go for Preston to go 2-2, as they did last time out against Blackburn. 2-2.
I had a good win on Coventry recently with a 1-0, didn't I? Stoke v Coventry. So I think I'm going to go for history to repeat itself. I agree with your setup of the actual narrative. So I'm going to go Coventry clean sheet win. And we've discussed this before, haven't we? You almost prioritise the league game over the FA Cup game, don't you? Which I think is probably what Mark Robbins will do. Coventry 1, Preston 0, which puts me up first, Sam, for our mouthwatering matchup for the check-in podcast on Monday, and match of the season contender as well. It's Leeds versus Leicester, and I'm going to hedge my bets and say I could foresee all 3 outcomes. I could see either side turning up on the day and sweeping the other away by 2 goals as well. I can see them cancelling each other out as well. We did do a feature on Leeds and the 9 in the row, which would equal what Leicester did to the end of October. You're not giving me any kind of reaction here, poker face. I'm trying to read what you're going to do. I'm going to go for the 9 in a row, Sam. Do I get a reaction for that? He's looking down at his notes. Both teams to score. Great game. Leeds 2. Leeds go 2-0 up and then Leicester to get 1 back. Leeds 2, Leicester 1. 9 in a row for Daniel Farke.
Well, I've already shown my hand, haven't I? I think on the podcast, I jumped the gun and said that Leeds were going to drop points in one of the Yorkshire derbies that's around the corner against one of the struggling sides in that region. I think it's going to be pretty amazing atmosphere.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
I just think of that Ipswich game at Ellen Road. I think they'll.
I try not to think about that Ipswich game.
Yeah. I think I texted you, didn't I? I was on the way to Fulham that afternoon, and I just saw the result.
You texted me a really funny selfie of a shocked face.
I think this could be something similar in terms of the intensity and the performance from Leeds. I don't think they'll rack up the goals, clearly, but I'm going to go for Leeds to win 2-0 if you're going for a 2-1. Wow.
Okay, Sam. Lots of to and fro between us and the Hull fans. So let's say it now. What a win for Hull last night. We recorded on Wednesday. They went to Southampton and won. So I'm assuming we're going to have some positive vibes for Hull, and that amazing front three you like, I think, might be starting to click, right?
Yeah, I just said to you before we came on, like, if you were given a bag of money, and let's put Premier League players aside for a moment, so the guys at Leeds that have played the games, the guys at Leicester currently, if you were given a bag of money for some guys who have done the business in the Championship before and realistically you could get at that level now, Zaroury, Carvalho, and Jadon Philogene, I mean, they'd be right at the top of any list, wouldn't they? So for them to get them all in the same side, that's astonishing backing and incredible potential for the end of the season. Cool, I've changed my tune. I'm struggling to find away wins here, which is funny considering there was 9 in 12, I think, last
kind of
weekend.
Record, wasn't it? Yeah.
I just can't see it in this round, though. So for that reason and what I've just said, and for West Bromwich Albion's ability to slip up on the road throughout this season, I'm going to do the unthinkable, and I'm going to go for Hull to win at home, where I know they're a bit inconsistent, but I'm going to go for that front three to continue clicking. 2-1 home win.
I mean, I love West Brom. I love Corberon. They won 3-0 at Plymouth last night. So both teams have played, and both teams have travelled a fair distance as well down south and southwest. So there's no advantage there. I think I'm going to be getting the stick from the Tigers fans now, aren't I? I think I might back the draw on this one. I think I make Hull slight favourites, but there's not a lot in this for me. And with Corberon able to set his team up to defend, no one's played a 1-1 yet, Sam. Your favourite. So in it goes. I'll go Hull 1, West Brom 1, and I'll move us on to Blackburn versus Norwich, which is going to make Sam mention an Alan Shearer chip from about 1993 or something, and a 7-1 win for Blackburn. Blackburn are certainly not going to beat Norwich 7-1 at the moment, aren't they? It's tighter with Eustace. Nil last night down at Cardiff was a very Eustace go and get a clean sheet, get a point type scenario, wasn't it? So it's either a low-scoring draw or a low-scoring away win for me, Sam. I've been backing Norwich quite a lot and being quite successful, so I'm going to back them again. And the main man, Josh Sargent. Blackburn 0, Norwich 1.
I'm struggling to see away wins, and this is probably the only place I can get one in. So for that reason, I kind of got my bonus point in mind. I agree with you, actually. I think Norwich could go there and win, mainly due to that kind of personnel, that 11 that David Wagner is able to put out now. I'll go for a 2-1 if you're going for a 1-0. But I need to mix it up here because I need to drag some points back. But 2-1 Norwich.
You just got to get a 3. Is that a bonus? You're asking for a bonus point?
No, I've got my bonus point earmarked for somewhere later on.
Okay. Cardiff versus Stoke. You're up first on this one as well, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, 0-0 is screaming out at me here, but I think considering it was 0-0 in the week, it's very unlikely that Cardiff City Stadium is going to see 0 goals again. This is a really big game, I think, for Stoke and Stephen Schumacher. And I think maybe Cardiff will just nick it. I'm going to go for a 1-0 home win.
That's what I was going to go for. Yeah. We refuse to double each other up, don't we? By the way, we are allowed to double each other up. But we kind of have the sort of tacit gentleman's agreement on that. Yeah, you've completely stolen my score. So I'll have to. I think it's only going to be a 1-goal victory if Cardiff do win, and a bit goal shy. So I'm struggling with this one. So I'll go 2-1. And apologies to Stoke fans, but it's just not going well there at all. Ipswich versus Birmingham. We're having a laugh and a joke about it, Sam. I was at Portman Road last night. Check out the vlog. Ipswich, for the last half hour of this game, I have never seen them play so badly under Kieran McKenna. Rotherham were by far the better team, but Birmingham are not going to play in the manner that really upset Ipswich. And we wished him well on the check-in podcast. I think it's a blow. I agree with you that love Mark Venus, but that Tony Mowbray's not going to be there. I think you're going to get a reaction from Ipswich. I think you can get a good concentrated performance from Wolfenden and Claggy and Clark at the back there. Maybe a bit of rotation as well again. So I'm going to back Ipswich. And do you know what? Should we give them a clean sheet? A Wolfenden masterclass with Flaggy at the back. Ipswich 2, Birmingham 0. Sam?
Yeah, it's difficult to disagree with that. I think if you're trying to predict the outcome, which we are, I would go for something similar. I think Birmingham will score because of those defensive frailties that have been evident at Portman Road throughout the season. At 26, I think they've conceded at home now. I think I looked up that Leicester and Leeds have conceded 11 in their home games, so more than double the two that they're up there with. But yeah, I think they'll respond, and I think they could score freely here. So I would go for Birmingham to score, like I said, but I'll go for a 3-1. So 2-goal cushion as well.
3-1. Little pause for the cause. We are brought to you in association with Match Bingo. We are going to have fun and games this weekend, if I can get that on the light. And there you go. That's the Friday night look over on the Match Bingo app. And right before your very eyes, because I'm going to do a watch along of this game, I'm going to buy myself a card for Leeds United versus Leicester City. No freebies on the Friday night, Sam, but you can play the Bingos game for absolutely free on Saturday. So there is my card. See anything there? A headed goal for Leeds. I need Joe Rodon. I'm looking for you. Direct woodwork hit. No goal for Leicester. Thinking Dewsbury Hall curls one with the left foot.
I'm seeing Mavididi chopping in and zinging one.
Chopping in.
Off the top of the bar. Yeah.
Chop and zing, indeed. Match Bingo. Go and head over there. Grab yourself a card. Please play responsibly. And if you are going to go over there, use that QR code that's on the screen right now, and they'll get a little message to say that me and Sam sent you over. And we thank them as ever for their support. You said 3-1 Ipswich, didn't you, for the Birmingham game? Right. I'm going to preempt that this is where you've got your bonus point. Go, Sam. It's Middlesbrough, Plymouth. You think there's going to be a ton of goals in this game, because I think there's going to be a ton of goals in this game.
Yeah.
So have I got it right?
Yeah. I reckon I'd say this scoreline for every single Argyle game, and nothing's going to change my mind here. They have been obviously a bit goal shy, a bit shot shy in the last couple, but let's put it in perspective. That was against Leeds and West Bromwich Albion, and I think Hardy and Whittaker, those two obviously hold the key to them staying in the division. And I don't think they'll be quiet at the weekend. I think they'll be back to getting goals. So, therefore, I just think Middlesbrough have got the potential to be good fun, confident after that win at Leicester. And I think they could go on a run now. So, for that reason, I think it's going to be Middlesbrough 3, Plymouth Argyle 2. And I think it could be a few hairy weeks for Argyle supporters, and they've got some big winnable games, I think, after the next couple where there's going to be pressure on. And normally Stephen Schumacher, throughout this season, if we built up games, they delivered. I don't think it's over for them, even though they've got a nice cushion. there's the potential for them to be dragged in. They're so young, Ben. I looked at their team the other day. So young. I think Galloway, left-sided centre-half, is 27. I think he was the oldest outfield player or the oldest player, which is, they've got 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds in there. And those aforementioned forward players, they're mid-20s, aren't they? So young team. And I think this is going to be good fun, but I think they're going to be on the wrong side of a high scorer.
Do I get any kind of bonus action for calling some Finn Azaz related narrative goal or assist stuff here? Because I haven't got quite such a high score. I have got Argyle losing, I have to say. I always go both teams to score. If I were to say 2-1 Middlesbrough and Azaz to get the winner, is that worth a bonus point?
That definitely is. I mean, it's very bold. You can have that, though, yeah.
Yeah, it's just fun if we both have the bonus point on the same game, isn't it? So I will go 2-1, but Finn Azaz
I'm not having a bonus point there.
You're not? Oh,
no, mine's coming later.
Okay, I'll delete my little asterisk. Then, so I'll go for my bonus 2-1. Well, let's not say the winner. Finn Azaz to score any time. Are you happy with that?
All right, yeah, you can have that, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to move on to QPR Rotherham. And I have to say, if Rotherham attack every game like they did last night, they're going to get that win sooner rather than later. It's just QPR are playing well at the moment, aren't they? And trending upwards and away from, not away from the bottom three because they're still in it, but you know what I'm saying, potentially away from the bottom three. I think Rotherham are going to give them some bother here, though, Sam. I think they'll be buoyed by a really good performance. So you're going to hate me because I'm going to go for Rotherham to get a point here. QPR 1, Rotherham 1, Sam.
It's exactly what I had written down, mate. Yeah, I think I just think, that the performance in the week will give them something. But I'll change my mind because I'm not going to have the same as you. So I'll go for maybe QPR to nick it. I'll go for QPR to win 2-1.
And you're up next, Sam. Wednesday, Bristol City.
Yeah, I think like QPR, like Huddersfield to a degree, there's just a little bit of feel-good factor still at Hillsborough, despite some indifferent results. But in the main, Danny Rose got everyone on board. Inconsistency, Bristol City. We know. I think they've lost fewer away games than they have at Ashton Gate, so they are very capable on the road. We know that, and I think Liam Manning is starting to prove to be a good appointment, and I think they'll be strong next year. But I think Sheffield Wednesday have got more to play for here, and for that reason, I'll go for a home win, and I'll go for the same scoreline at Hillsborough as I just said at Loftus Road. So I'll go for 2-1 Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, I like your rationale. I might go down the middle then, being you've done the Wednesday win. Do you think Ugbo's going to keep it up this time? Because he started well at Cardiff, didn't he? And he started well now at Wednesday. Had they got themselves a goal scorer?
Yeah, I think he could finish the season really strongly. I watched a lot of him in obviously the 23s at Chelsea. I used to like. I mean, he wasn't as free scoring, I wouldn't say, as like a Solanke or a Tammy Abraham. I never felt he was as good in those situations. So this is maybe going to contradict what I'm going to say. But I always really liked his kind of hold-up play and his endeavour and his game understanding as a young lad. So I thought he had a chance, and I was surprised that he kind of lost his way to a degree. But yeah, I think he's a good player, and he's got a bit of confidence now. They've got good pace in the wide positions. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he finished, with half a dozen goals or something, in the next 15 games or whatever is to go.
Okay, so I think Bristol City can score a couple, but if what you say about Ugbo's right, then also Wednesday can score a couple, and I haven't had a Desmond yet. You have, so I'm going to go Wednesday 2, Bristol City 2, and I'm going to bring us on to Southampton versus Millwall, and we've got to address the space-time continuum here. Because it's 11:45 on Wednesday morning. And we think by the time you watch this, unfortunately, Joe Edwards is no longer going to be the Millwall manager. And we think Neil Harris is going to be coming back. And even I've been checking on Twitter while we've been talking, Sam. There's some pretty reputable sources going with that now to the point where I'm pretty sure that that's happening. Whether or not that makes a difference for this game, I'm not entirely sure. And Southampton have lost 2 in 3 now with the Bristol City defeat and last night against Hull. So I'm going to back the Saints to bounce back. And you know what? I think I'm going to have them comfortable, Sam. Southampton 3, Millwall 0. Sorry.
Have you seen my notes?
No. Did you have that down?
That's exactly what I had. And
you played with Neil Harris.
Yeah, I did a podcast on Monday actually, and never shy in talking about Neil Harris, the footballer, because far and away the best finisher I played with, and I made my debut alongside him, which just shows you, kind of the lasting impression he made on me. All types of goals, insatiable desire to score, very selfish in that regard. Went out, knew what he wanted to do. Incredible. That period I played with him, he was incredible. And Millwall record goal scorer, isn't he? So he loves it there. He loved it there. He was probably 23, 24 out of non-league. But I'm so surprised by this. Nothing in the Championship has surprised me as much as when I saw that news 10 minutes ago. I was like open-mouthed. I can't for the life of me really understand it. It's really hard to get your head around. But I wish him well because I like him, and David Livermore's a former teammate of mine as well. He's going back with him. So it's a tough challenge they've got on their hands. I'd probably back them maybe now to get enough points, especially in the home games, cliched as it is.
I agree with you.
You'd feel that something may happen there, but they're obviously going to have to flip it and go back to what probably Gary Rowett was doing quite successfully. Maybe he'll add that little bit of attacking verve that the supporters crave. But it's not going to happen here, I'm afraid. But just for the Neil presence, I'll go for them to score, but I'll go for Southampton 4-1 in the wake of your prediction.
Wow. Okay. Is that a bonus point?
No.
Still coming. Okay. You're up first, Sam. Sunderland with, what's the guy's Christian name? Dodds? I can't think what his first name is.
Darren, I think.
Replacing Mick Beale. So I don't know. What does that do to the atmosphere in the stadium? I can't figure out which way that's going to take it.
I would imagine it'd improve at no end. Yeah. I mean, the results have been okay, haven't they? They won back-to-back, haven't they, at Stadium of Light, unless I've missed a game out. I think the couple of halves, they put together some pretty good football, if memory serves me right. So, yeah, I'd expect Sunderland to win this. I think it's difficult times for Swansea. I hope dearly that they're going to get enough points to stay away from trouble, but I think this is a tough game for them, given what's gone on in the last week. I'll go for it to be quite tight, quite edgy, and maybe have to rely on a late-ish goal, but I'm going to go for a 1-0 home win.
I'm feeling that we're a bit too similar. So I might just throw in a contrarian prediction here for no reason other than just the sheer fun of it. And without wanting to lord it over you, Sam, I do have a strong lead here, don't I? So I can afford to do this. So I'm going to have a bit of a gamble with this one, Sam. I'll go for... Excuse me, sorry. If I go for a draw or an away win, can't see an away win, can you? They're not going to be able to keep the score down, are they, to get the away win? So I'll go for a draw.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Sunderland 1, Swansea 1. How about that to try and shake it up? So you still haven't played your bonus, and we've only got one game left, so you must be playing it on Watford versus Huddersfield, which fascinates me. What have you got up your sleeve here? I'm up first. Huddersfield, new manager that I frankly know precious little about. Watford, well, they are off the back of a win, but I was going to say, but it was against Rotherham, but I've just seen Rotherham play very, very well against Ipswich last night. Let's go home win for Watford. Let's go Watford. We'll have Huddersfield scoring. It's 3-1. Watford 3, Huddersfield 1.
Yeah, I just think there's a little bit of something developing, in terms of the performances recently. So shot shy, goal shy, Huddersfield, all of a sudden they've got that creative spark. I like the kind of three playing behind the front man. I've gone completely blank now. Wiles, Sorba Thomas, help me out. Yeah, Radoni and Karama's played down the middle the other day. So still lacking maybe that proper goal threat in the number 9 position. Healy and Radulovic, I'm not sure they've supplied that as of yet, but I think there's a bit of a vibrancy about them. The kind of handbrake's been let off by the interim manager, and this manager's been recruited to play, obviously, attacking brand, no fear football. Is that one of their lines? Someone else won it, but you get my drift.
Gary Cook at Birmingham.
Yeah, and I just think they're inconsistent, Watford, aren't they? I think there's been a lot to like about them this year, but I could see Huddersfield going there and winning. So I'd like a bonus point for the reverse scoreline that you gave me. Huddersfield to win 3-1 at Watford.
Huddersfield to win 3-1 at Watford. Let me just poke that in there with the asterisk. So get involved as ever in the predictions. I was going to say there's 2 types of people, Sam. There's actually 3 types of people. My favourite type of person gets involved in the comments before the games, right? People I like far less get involved after the games. Do you want to know the worst type of person, Sam? 5 p.m. 5 p.m. on Saturday. Literally, the game's just finished and my phone's beeping and I do the stupid thing and open it. And there's people going, no, you didn't predict that to happen. Guys, we can't predict the future. If we did that, we'd be working for NASA or something like that or be trillionaires. It's just a bit of fun. But if you are going to comment, you're going to get far more love from me doing it before the games take place than after. There you go. It's my normal rant, Sam. That will fall on completely deaf ears, won't it? As ever. Last word from you then, mate, before we wrap up.
Good weekend. Really good weekend. Didn't actually realise until we just gone through the games there. Coventry, Preston, my goodness me, Hull v West Bromwich Albion. You know, we'll probably be talking playoff battle, won't we? This time next week, and not to mention Friday night. So, yeah, enjoy that one, and maybe, just maybe, could have a title battle. Should it go the way of Leeds United?
I thought you were talking about between me and you. Now, you might see a YouTuber with millions of subscribers and views a week driving a Bentley. It's a bit more modest, I have to say, when you're covering the Championship. So if you can find a few quid each month to support over on Patreon or by hitting the join button here, you are making the world of difference for myself, Shaylee and Enid.